just got gas at Hop In, Stillwell. On my way to Wyandotte, going to DDAY Adventure Park. It's touted as the largest paintball event in the world. 5 days long, straight paintball. People partying, hanging out, camping. It's supposed to be a lot of fun. Been waiting 10 years to go. This year, old Thomas and I finally got to go. Thomas and Mike went down to my house and got my camper Saturday. They took it up, set it up already. It's Monday morning now. I had to work all weekend, pay the bills. But yep, I'm pulling out of Stillwell, Oklahoma right now, headed that way. All right, it's the first setback. Got just north of Watts, Oklahoma. And people who know J-Rod know J-Rod's gonna forget something. Yeah. Forgot my folder with all my tickets. It's got my paintball tickets in it. I don't know why, but you have to present a printed off voucher for your paint that you've prepaid this year. I guess that's how they've always done it. Even though all the stuff's on the Eventbrite, you can just show it on the wallet on my phone. But yep, now I've turned around. It's gonna add about 90 miles to my trip. Got about 30 miles away from the house, so I'm gonna have to go 30 back, and then another 30 back the other way. So 60, maybe 60 miles to trip. But that's how it goes. Made it back home, got my stuff, like Rush Ball. I'll wave it around so everybody can hear it, see it. There it is. I've got it now. My oldest daughter, she always jokes with me. I'm coming to pick them up or something, and she'll be like, "Daddy, you got your keys?" Because I'm driving down the road. Yeah, I've got my keys. Well, you know, you'll lose them if somebody doesn't say something. So this right here, little guy, is why I had to come all the way back. These right here, this is for paint. I pre-ordered my paint, and this stuff right here is all on the Eventbrite website. You can just show them your phone. It's got the same little code right here, this little code. It's on your phone, but they won't take that, so I've got these pre-ordered, printed off things. I don't know what the deal is, why they can't look at the code on your phone, but they want the paper. So I got the paper. Took me 90 miles to get it because I'm a dumbass. But, you know, that's neither here nor there. Put this right over here. And we'll keep right on. Keep it on. Whew. All right, here we go. And we wait. And we wait. So now I'm at Lowe's. Made it up here. Should have been to Wyandotte already, but no, all the setbacks. I got some shepherd hooks for the camp. Light. There was no light inside of the camper, so I had to get a little string light to hang up in the top. Got a couple of little LED Jayco lights set in there also. Just some stuff for the camp. Should be in here ready for me to pick it up already. Ordered it yesterday, paid for it, so it should be there. Should be just a quick little jump and go. Okay, so I just finished up at Lowe's. Got my shepherd hooks. Gonna hang lanterns or some outdoor lighting, that kind of thing at the camp. It said there was no lights inside the pop-up, so I got a string light to hang up in there, a couple of LED bulbs, and then I got some of these little Jayco, look like little light switches with LED lights in them. They're battery operated, so you don't need to have them connected to the 30 amp or the 50 amp or even to the 12 volt. They're run on a couple of AAA batteries. You just flip them on and off like a regular old light switch. Pretty neat little deal. On the back they got the keyhole hooks to hang on a nail or a screw, or they got hook and loop, and they've got peel and stick tape, so you can pretty much attach them anywhere you want, inside of a closet, inside of a pantry, or in a cabinet, whatever. In a pop-up, seems like they'll work pretty good in there. So yeah, on my way again. Alright, I'm almost to Seneca. Thomas called me, said there must be some trouble brewing back at the old D-Day Adventure Camp. Apparently, for the past few years, 4 years, 5 years, something like that, the Germans have won this game. So the Allied army is super butthurt. And apparently they've gone by, destroyed the German defenses like 3 times in a row so far. I don't know what's really going on. Something like they really want the Allies to win this year or something. So I mean, basically just all out, even up to like cheating and stuff. So I don't know what's really going on. It's like supposed to be real controversial, big meetings with Jesus, all that kind of stuff going on. So as soon as I get there, figure some things out, find out what's going on for sure, and we'll see. Well, here we are, D-Day, Oklahoma.
Arrive at 66800 East 175 Road on the right.
What do you know?
Howdy.
Oh, that's paint. There I am. Alright. I don't think I need any of this other stuff.
Inside 9, we'll get you all set up. German, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Do my waiver. My buddy came in on Saturday and he checked in probably. Thomas Helm.
Okay, were there 2 tickets
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so let's try. Okay.
So here's the ticket for my buddy. He came in the other day.
You can
Yeah, he actually just drove through.
What do you mean he just drove through?
No, he's already been here.
Yeah, but he just drove through?
Yeah, y'all just waved him through.
Because he had our meds on.
Yeah,
Right.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Right, because they've already checked in. They checked
Yeah,
in
this is
already.
where we're checking in.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
What are you doing up here?
He woke up. Okay, that says Thomas Helm already checked in.
Yeah.
Okay, so give me the.
There you go, sir.
Jared Brown already checked in.
I didn't already check in.
Are you Jerry Brown?
Yeah.
Okay, well, maybe it did that because I just.
Yeah, it does it automatically for you.
Right. Okay, so I've got Jared Brown's waiver.
Yep.
All right.
Here's a waiver.
Okay. And I'm just gonna
Oh, did you?
Oh, you want that back?
Oh, okay.
yeah.
I've been giving it back to him just in case something happens.
Here's
way
that
they know
one.
We're here. Because it already shows that they're checked in. They
Yeah.
can't do anything else with it.
Okay, I don't care.
Okay, it's no big deal to me. I don't care. I just did it last night.
You,
'Cause I didn't.
you do or don't?
Place to put 'em.
Do. Okay.
I've been putting
That-
the waiver away.
All right.
Oh, have you? Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Okay. Then-
There's
What's this here?
so on your gun.
Okay, on the hopper.
Yeah.
Okay.
I thought the other guy opened like a 30 or something.
All right.
All right. Woo. Okay. Now I'm good? All right.
Where are you
Otherwise-
sleeping?
All right, all checked in. Got my little armband, my hopper flag, got my ID. Supposed to keep this at all times so I don't get thrown out. Shit. The road's a little crazy. Still got, I guess, a little ways to drive in here. Oh, there's all the stuff. There it is, D-Day. Woo! We got tanks, we got people, we got APC back yonder, there's a tractor, some lady. Going through the arches right now. There's the buzzard right next door. Boing. All right, so we played our first game. Just got here, and it was pretty much put stuff in the trailer. Time to go. We're gonna go play a game. Got to get your chronographed, all that kind of stuff. So I didn't really even have time to get any water, anything like that. So when they say you need to hydrate for Oklahoma D-Day, they're not lying. It's about 6 billion degrees, and the humidity is about 3,000. So you will sweat. I sweated a lot. Fixing to go to town, me and Thomas here. Hey, Thomas. They set the camp up Saturday, so I'm finally getting here. But it was kind of fun. Thrown together a little bit. But time to go store, get some stuff. I'll talk to y'all later. Alright, this is day 3 at Oklahoma D-Day. Yesterday I just took it easy. I didn't play any games. Try to conserve my paint and stuff for the big games on Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. We're on Wednesday. I just got ready. I'm getting ready, so I got all my stuff. Getting ready for the mag-fed game tonight. They pushed everything back because it's rained all morning. Started raining about 3, went to about 5. Then it rained till about 8:30 or so this morning. So everything's good and soupy. Sun's back out drying stuff up right now. Thomas and them's going to town. So I'm here just waiting for the mag-fed games to start up. Every night they got the speedball or airball going. So you hear that all night. It's pretty cool too to go watch that. I might get some video of that. Got some GoPro video of the game on the first day on Monday, but I didn't get it put together yet or edited. I'll take care of that after a little while. But yeah, this is day 3, getting ready for the mag-fed game. It's been a pretty good experience out here. We'll talk more about it later. All right, still day 3. The mag-fed game that I was looking forward to didn't happen. Ended up scheduled wrong, something like that. So far I'm not really impressed by the scheduling and how they keep everything all together. But it did rain this morning to set everything off, so I mean, there's reasons. But yeah, tomorrow's gonna be one of the big games starting out. Everybody's jacked for that. Hopefully there's another mag-fed game sometime. Probably not though. And that was one of the main reasons I came. I was wanting to play a big mag-fed game. But right after about 7 o'clock tonight, we had a big meeting with the command of our unit, and we all got together, started playing poker, some other things like that. Had a big mixer kind of meet and greet kind of deal. And that was really nice. It was awesome. It was a camaraderie building kind of thing. Just got done with that. Come back to the camp. We're getting our stuff ready for tomorrow and the big games. Tomorrow I think we're doing Utah Beach. So we've got that to look forward to. About 3 hours worth of straight playing. Gonna throw a lot of paint tomorrow. But yeah, that's kind of how it is right now. Getting kind of scruffy. Been about 3 or 4 days since I cleaned this stuff up. But you know, it's vacation, so there's that. All right, I'm gonna talk to you later. All right, we just finished the Utah Beach campaign. Got our asses handed to us by some not so fair means. still, I think it's like 6 billion and 5 degrees today, and the humidity is horrible.
Give or take a degree.
Yeah. But you know, everybody was trying to get things worked out. One of the problems we had to face was that there was no air or paint refills at our dead zone. Plus, our dead zone was like 300 yards from where we were at. So we'd have to get shot, walk 300 yards to the dead zone. Then, finally, they told us there was air on the other side of the field, back by where the opposing team is, air and paint. So they had like a 10-foot respawn area from where they were fighting. Plus, the air and paint was right there with them. So we had hundreds of yards to have to walk to get air and paint to supply ourselves, which was ridiculous. And then it didn't even tell us when we started where it was at. So we had to find out later after we sent half our fuel all the way back to town to get paint and air. That's kind of bullcrap, but you know,
Disappointing.
it is disappointing. Pay that much money to come play a game and then get ripped kind of like that. You know, there's a lot of arguing. I would say the biggest disappointing part I've seen about D-Day so far is the organization.
Very unorganized.
Yeah, very. They I guess they tried. I mean, they've got a year to get it set up, but so far the organization has kind of disappointed me a little. The game itself and the people that we're playing with, all that kind of stuff is amazing. People, you know, it's just like I got shot out of playing the MagFed game last night, and that was one of the big reasons I wanted to come play some MagFed games. There's supposed to be 2, but I don't think there's going to be another one with. I mean, there's just days left. There's only 2 more days left. There's not going to be another MagFed game probably. And then like the 8-hour game is on for our Saturday, so that's day after tomorrow. But yeah, I mean, that's where I'm at with it. Thomas, what do you think about so far? Since this is your first time here also.
Mainly the unorganized. They're late for everything. Nothing's never on time. They tell you one thing and never. We were supposed to have our dead zones, as he said earlier, and we didn't get them. And then they put the air and everything. I bet the air, get air, I had to walk at least 600 foot or more.
And then nobody knows anything.
Yeah.
Nobody knows. We go to the refs and ask them. Nobody knows. I don't know. It's supposed to be right over there, and it wasn't there.
Yeah, nobody knew anything. Unorganized.
Thomas got his nose busted there. See some of that. He's juicing a little. We saw Thomas. Tell him about that injury you saw today.
Oh, they the deuce and a half. We took us back up there and they was unloading us all, and I noticed half the step. The step wasn't all the way. It only lasted on one side, but everyone else made it down. And I mean, everybody else, at least another 15 people, and went down. So I go down with it, and I make it down and turn around. And just as I turn around, the guy off the deuce half took one step on the step and it went. It came down and broke both his legs a while ago, I believe. It's not his ankles, but they're broke. So we had to render aid to him until they finally showed up and got medics there to work on him. It was a mess. Unorganized.
Well, there you have it. That's day 3? Day 3. Day 3. We're fixing to go eat. Look at this here. This is not a spider bite. This is not a hickey. Ain't got no wild women up here chewing on me, but wish it did.
Paintballs.
I got plastered with some paint. I got turned into a meat shield. Part of the disappointing parts is they allowed the Allied Army to push their stuff right up to our dead zone, which is where we respawn at. So all of our dead guys are going to the spot, and then they just set just right outside of it. And they set their heavy gun up, and they've got all these guys with automatics and stuff lined up there, and they're just waiting for them to say game back on, and then they're just going to open up on us. So like we're all just standing there in a confined spot, and so we just said screw it, you know. I mean, if they're going to do it, they're going to do it. So I went up to the front and I said, like, I'm going to walk straight at that big gun, and I'm going to take as much pain as I can, and then some of y'all smaller guys that can run bust off from behind me, and I'm going to absorb what I can. So I did that 2 different spawns until they started finding spawners back up in the woods where we had a fighting chance. But they just opened up on us. It was like the whole team was sitting there shooting at us like, you know, shooting gallery. But 2 times I just went up there and I plowed right at the big gun, and I took as much pain as I could. Probably got shot 30-40 times before I throw my hands up, because they got 60-foot buffer. When you leave the dead zone, you're alive for 60 feet. So for that whole 60 feet, I just walked taking paint, bit, you know. They're just zapping me, and that way I let some of the littler guys that can run and move, let them get off and try to find a flank. But you know, it was kind of bull crap too. But you know, all in all, it's a good memory, you know. And I'd probably still come back next year. I mean, even for just the friendship stuff and the camaraderie and hanging around, all that kind of stuff. I like it. That I'm really impressed.
That part's fun.
Yeah. But until tomorrow, I guess this is my last one for today. Maybe later tonight, I don't know. But I got some GoPro footage. I got to put that together, and I'll see if I can insert that in this also. Well, good afternoon, fellers, folks, everybody. It's the end of day 4. We had a lot better experience today. Not only because we won, but we did win. Just want to put that out there. We won today.
Hoorah!
Germans took the beach, or kept the beach. So whose beach? Our beach. Not the big red ones. But yeah, it was a lot better experience. The field is still highly favoring the Allied team. There was still some. It wasn't as egregious as it was yesterday, but there was still some stuff. They changed. Yeah, they changed the spawning to touch and go, so that the Allied people would have closer to go to try to respawn, to try to take it. And then they added minutes onto the game to try to help them, give them every opportunity to win. But they couldn't pull it off. We mustered right at the top, right at the right time. We won. We pushed them out. I actually got a lot of kills today. Whoop, whoop. We snuck up on some people and blasted them. Let's see. What is your experience for today, Thomas?
Today was way better than it has been since we've been here. I actually had a blast today. It was way more fair. I'll give them that. There were some things they were still allowing, like the out of bounds stuff. I didn't agree with that. But other than that, I loved it today.
I believe that's the consensus everywhere.
Yeah.
Temperature and stuff was a lot better today. It rained this morning right before we started, and then we was figuring that it was gonna go ahead and rain us out, because I wasn't gonna play in the rain. I mean, I'm gung ho and all that kind of stuff, but I'm not 17, 18 years old no more.
I'm not the rain man.
Yeah, we're not the rain man anymore. I ain't gonna go out there and get hurt, not be able to pay my bills just because I wanted to go out and play paintball for a day in the mud. It ain't gonna happen. But got attacked by some more wild women. Look at that. This right here's the new one. No, there's one. There's another one. That one's from yesterday. But that getting shot in the neck, that stuff's not a joke either. I think I'll invest in a shemagh or a neck protector next time I go. What do you think about the field, Thomas?
The field was actually set up pretty nice. It was just like the wild. There's trees. Had some adventures. They did catch the field on fire.
I forgot about that.
Other than that, the bunkers was actually bunkers. Everything, it was an awesome day. I loved it.
I wasn't super, I mean, I liked the field, but it was super rough, and for being 25 years in, I think they could have refined their field a little bit better. There shouldn't be giant boulders and stuff where people are going to get hurt and all that kind of stuff. They should have a little bit easier access to get in. After 25 years, to be honest. I mean, if I'm trying to put out an honest feel or an honest review of the experience, I feel like the field should be taken care of a little better, or they should have been made up a little bit better. And I think that would it would add to return customers too. I mean, people come out there and it's fun, but they really don't want to deal with walking 300 yards for a respawn through some rough area. I mean, that kind of stuff.
We was also advised yesterday, next year, 2020, is the last D-Day.
Yep, that's what they were saying yesterday. They announced that yesterday, that next year will be the last one. So if you do want to experience D-Day, 2020 is probably going to be your last shot. And it's been
I recommend at least try it.
yeah, I would definitely say give it a shot. It's an experience. It's a week-long experience, and it just goes on forever. And it's fun. It is fun. But if I'm giving an honest review of the field and stuff, I think the field should have been taken care of a little better. There should have been a little bit easier access to get in and out for spawning and respawning, reinserting, that kind of stuff. The inside of the bunkers and stuff were not set up properly, I would say. They weren't set up for a big guy for sure, but they weren't really set up for a little guy either. And I think that kind of stuff should have been engineered a little better. Would you like to comment on that?
Yeah.
You kind of agree on that?
I do. But what I was getting at, this field seemed to be a little more fair. Where on the other one, they mowed past, and we needed pass on the beach for the Americans to move
Filthy
past.
Americans.
Cheating. I mean, they sure didn't do that for us. I mean, we were still covered in briar bushes and everything else. But they sure cut them a path through. That part I disagreed with. It was a little cheat in my book.
All's fair in love and war, right?
Should be.
Paintball war. All right, well, that's our review for today. It's time to go get some vittles, get our bellies filled. I would like to say one thing though. If this had been 2 years ago, there's no way I could have done what I've done so far. I mean, I lost 120 something pounds in the last little over a year now. And that terrain is brutal. The temperatures are brutal, and there is no way I could have handled or done what I have done. And I'm still not a mobile guy by any means by some of them other little guys running around, but pretty proud of what I have done so far. And today I did even more than what I thought I would have been capable of even last month. But I wish I could do this kind of stuff all the time, but can't. You gotta live life. But other than that, it's still an awesome experience. And I guess that's it for today. All right, D-Day Oklahoma 2019's over. We finished her up Saturday. Sitting at work now. I gave it a couple of days to think about it. Think about some of the things I liked, some of the things I didn't like. I guess I'll start with some of the things I liked. I liked the overall experience. I'd never played games that were 3 hours long before. I've never played an 8-hour game before. My whole experience paintball before, it's always been 20 minutes, 15 minutes, capture a flag, some objective based stuff that way. Never anything on that kind of a scale, and that was very impressive. I like that. Sometimes the organization kind of failed the players. The field kind of failed the players in some spots. The dead zones, the refs didn't really know what was going on like they should. They didn't have communications like they should. Not all of them had radios, so they couldn't communicate. And there was pretty much just stuck out being a ref and not giving any information, and that was kind of a drawback. Distances to the dead zones, that was another thing I didn't like. When you have to walk 400 or 500 yards to the dead zone and then walk 400 or 500 yards back, you're spending 20 minutes in the box. You're spending a lot of time walking back and forth, just trying to get back to the game, or to go spawn. And that I didn't really enjoy that aspect. Also, the access to air and paint, it wasn't consistent. Finding out where it wasn't consistent. Like I said, a lot of times the refs didn't know, or they didn't have a way of communicating, especially after games got started and things started changing up a little. That part, and I think that all really much just kind of falls back on the organization part. There's a big kind of trying to work it between realism and the game. Or is it a reenactment, or is it a game? Reenactment goes one way. If it's a game, it goes another way. I mean, if you're going to pay, and I paid something like $1,500 to go to this game, all together. I mean, like $200 or something for the camping spot, and then I paid, for the ticket to get in, and then I pre-ordered paint, and then I had to buy gear, and I had some gear from a few years ago, and some of it just got lost and I had to replace. So I was about $1,500 in by the time this game started, and to spend that kind of money to go play a game, and then get there, and then to be treated like they wanted you to be a meat target for somebody else to win, I didn't really like that. I mean, if I'm paying to play a game, I want to have the option and the ability to win. That's the competitive nature of everybody. But the whole reason behind the D-Day thing is to show respect and to honor what our veterans did on the real D-Day. So there's also the aspect of the trying to show the realism of it, and that balance, it needs to be worked out a little bit better. If you're going to play a game like that, are you reenacting, or are you playing a game? And if you're going to reenact, you need to be pretty straightforward that we're reenacting and you're not going to win. And then when you do win, when you're trying to play a game, getting butthurt about it because the Germans won, you can't do that. I mean, they either win and they're playing a game fair and square, or you're doing a reenactment and the Allies win. Now, on the game part, on their beaches, that the Allies ever win any of those beaches in that game is outstanding. I mean, it would be amazing if they actually won a beach without cheating. Anybody that's tactical minded knows that when you have someone barricaded in a house or whatever, they have the tactical advantage. You can take 5 people, put them in a house, and they can hold off 20 to 30 people. So when you got 60, 70 guys in bunkers and trenches and all that kind of stuff up on this hill, And then these guys are trying to run out of these boats to come climb the hill, and they're just getting mowed down left and right. There needs to be, I mean, it's a little unfair on the Allied side, and I can see that. But it is also the sizes of the teams and stuff. I mean, when you have two equal sized forces and one of them has an extreme tactical advantage, that side's going to always win. But you can't change the rules mid-game or right at the end to try to give the other team a win because you want them to win, because then it feels like you're just getting screwed. And I've seen some of that. First time there, I saw some of that where, you know, people were allowed to go out of bounds and come around. Probably need to nerf some respawns or something like that to give the Allies a little bigger advantage without cheating, you know, and be upfront and play the rules consistently all the way through the game. That's what you need to do. You need to find rules that are going to be consistent and fair. I mean, the Germans, anybody who plays on the German scene that has any kind of tactical sense know that they're going to have an extreme advantage. Always, they're going to have an extreme advantage because, one, unlike history, the Germans in this game know the Allies are coming. Germans in history didn't know, so they weren't reinforced. They got hit by 600-something thousand troops, and it wasn't over in 8 hours. Now, if you're going to recreate and do this game, you got to have objectives, and you got to have obtainable objectives. So you're going to have to nerf some things on one side or the other. Another thing that I kind of put me off was the first strikes. You know, when I first started playing, everybody had Splatmasters, and your combat effective range was something like 30 feet, you know. Now you've got guys with average games who can engage each other from about 40 yards. And now on top of that, you've got these guys showing up with first strike guns that are, you know, rifle barrels and all that are actually being able to hit from 100 yards out. So you've got all these guys who are now engaging each other at about 40 yards, which is their maximum effective range. And then you've got these other guys who are just camping on the background, picking people off with first strike rounds from 100 yards away. And so what I saw happening was everybody was going to bunkers. They were bunkering up. They were engaging each other from maximum range. And then everybody was getting picked off by people with first strikes. And the way their field was set up was not set up for that. So all your bunkers and stuff are so far spaced apart that it allows people just to sit and long ball all day, just long ball at each other, long ball, long ball, long ball. There's not a whole lot of tactical movement. There's not enough cover for tactical movement with the evolution of the paintball guns. What I saw was that pretty much everything ended up in a stalemate. When there was a charge by one side or the other, they're just getting massacred by the other team until the armor came in. And then when they used their tanks, that was what would sway any of the battles at all. There wasn't a lot of tactical movement in close where, you know, people could jump bunker to bunker and move around and do anything like that, especially big guys that don't move much. Those bunkers being 30 and 40 yards apart really weren't conducive to that kind of game. The field just hasn't evolved along with the markers. And that was one thing that I saw. The camping was good. I paid for a 50 amp spot with water and ended up with a 30 amp spot with no water. That really didn't make me happy because I paid for one thing, ended up with something else. Didn't like that. There wasn't as many vendors there as I would have hoped to have been. I think there was Valken and PB Sports were the two big vendors that were there. We pretty much spent all of our money at those two spots and in Seneca. We went down into Seneca and we ate at, there's a little Mexican restaurant down there, and then there's a little cafe just up from the convenience store there. Angels, I believe is what it's called. Both of those spots were really, really decent places to eat. But, you know, the people were awesome. Our commander, Gene, he was awesome. I liked how we got together every day after the deal. We talked about what we was going to be doing the next day, and there was an effort made to bring everybody in and to do things, and I really liked that. I would like to see more events that were camp-wide, maybe like a band or something going, or you know, something like that at night, other than just there's the air ball going on every night, which was kind of interesting. But there not a lot of people that went to that event were playing airball or speedball or whatever you want to call it. So it was over pretty much within an hour and a half or so every night. There wasn't a lot of fighting or drinking, or you know, I mean, some people drank some beer and stuff like that, but it was nothing like an event like Oklahoma or anything like that where you got drunk stumbling around. There was nothing like that. It was a family event, and it was a decent family event. There wasn't a bunch of cussing. There wasn't anything like that, and that was really nice. But yeah, and nothing I've said is meant to detract from the event at all, or even a big event like that. It's hard to run, and being that I've been parts of some major events like Oklahoma, where you've got something like 35,000 campers every night working security and that kind of deal, where that event becomes its own city for a week. You know, I come from a spot of some experience, and I can see some things that probably needed to have changed to have made that event last longer and go longer. But for what it is, it was outstanding. And it was something that I've never experienced before, and I hope or plan to go next year and take part in it again for the last D-Day. And that's pretty much all I've got really to say about it right at this time. Might be able to come up with something later, but probably will. I'll probably say, dang it, I should have said this, or I should have said that. But you know, that's how it is. But till next time, this has been J-Rod, and this has been my experience with D-Day Oklahoma. Hope y'all liked my videos and my little talks about it, and I'll work together and get a little bit of some of the footage I've got on the GoPro put together and put out. Didn't get a whole lot, still got an old GoPro, so it's not outstanding footage, but I put some other pictures and stuff that I found out there, shared it on Facebook and that kind of thing. And that's where we're at. So y'all have a good one.